Hi, beautiful Black women. My name is Abby. In this video, we're talking about the way some dark-skinned Black women often forgive colorist dark-skinned Black men who have openly mocked them, rejected them, and made them the butt of every single joke, yet somehow still get their loyalty. We're also going to talk about how this loyalty ends up working against them, why they often refuse to consider dating outside of these men, and how misplaced blame towards light-skinned and biracial women only reinforces the same cycles of pain. So obviously, this is not a light-hearted topic because it deals with the deep wounds of colorism. For generations, dark-skinned Black women have carried not only the weight of racism and sexism, but also the sting of rejection from the very men who share their same skin tone. And instead of breaking away from these men, too many cling even tighter, convinced that forgiveness and loyalty will one day lead to acceptance. But the reality is, this cycle only keeps dark-skinned Black women trapped in relationships and mindsets that do not serve them. For me, one of the most confusing things about colorism in the Black community is how often dark-skinned Black women forgive the very men who practice it against them. These are men who go online on podcasts laughing about how they would never date a dark-skinned woman, how they only want someone who is light-skinned, someone who is mixed, or someone completely outside of the race. These are the men who use dark-skinned women as punchlines, mocking their looks, their femininity, and even their very existence. And yet, despite all of that, we often see dark-skinned Black women continuing to uplift them, to defend them, and to still hold on to the dream of being chosen by them. That forgiveness doesn't come from a place of empowerment. I think it comes from a place of conditioning, of being told that love and validation from Black men, especially dark-skinned ones, is the ultimate prize. Now, when someone like me comes online and says, hey, maybe it's time to stop forgiving these men who are colorist towards you, maybe it's time to explore other options, whether that means, I don't know, maybe dating a light-skinned Black man, a biracial man, or even stepping outside of the Black community altogether, many dark-skinned Black women push back. There's this almost knee-jerk reaction of no, as if loving anyone other than a dark-skinned man is betrayal. But I think a big part of that resistance also comes from fear. Fear of being rejected by a light-skinned man. Deep down, I think some dark-skinned Black women may believe that if a light-skinned man rejects them, it somehow hurts more because subconsciously, they have been taught that light skin is better, right? That doesn't mean it's actually better, but we understand the community that we live in, right? Because that is the narrative Black men have pushed for so long. So instead of risking that, some Black women would rather deal with rejection from a man of their same skin tone, because at least it doesn't confirm that internalized hierarchy. On top of that, a lot of dark-skinned Black women use the excuse that light-skinned men are more colorist, as if being light-skinned automatically makes them more harmful than dark-skinned men. But when you actually ask a dark-skinned Black woman who has been the most colorist towards them, most will usually admit that it was dark-skinned Black men. That contradiction is confusing to me, okay? How can you say light-skinned men are the most colorist if you've never seriously dated them, while at the same time admitting that dark-skinned Black men are the ones who actually inflicted the harm? It becomes a cycle of protecting dark-skinned men, even at the cost of being inconsistent and being dismissive towards light-skinned men in a way that can even come off as colorist itself. This contradiction is one of the most telling signs of how deeply the conditioning runs. The real enemy is not a light-skinned man. It's the system of colorism that dark-skinned men themselves have chosen to perpetuate. Something else I have seen in the Black community is that, instead of holding dark-skinned men accountable for their colorism, what I have seen is a lot of Black women redirecting their pain towards light-skinned Black women and biracial women. These women become scapegoats, blamed for stealing men or for being symbols of what dark-skinned Black men prefer. But the truth is, the problem isn't the women who happen to be light-skinned or biracial. The problem is the men who made those preferences clear. By villainizing other women instead of addressing the actual root of the issue, Dark-skinned black women end up protecting dark-skinned black men from responsibility. That misplaced anger keeps them focused on being rivals with other women instead of demanding better treatment from men. This pattern doesn't come out of nowhere. It's the result of cultural conditioning. From childhood, dark-skinned black women are told to stand by your black men no matter what, to see their struggles as your struggles, to forgive them when they fail you, and to see your worth only through their eyes. This is why so many dark-skinned black women hesitate to date outside of black men, even when those men have rejected them. It's not about genuine love, it's about programming, about being told that your loyalty is proof of your value. But what has that loyalty actually earned? Too often, it's only brought disrespect and heartbreak. This cycle is never going to change unless dark-skinned black women decide to break it themselves. Forgiving colorist black men over and over again only tells them that there are no consequences for their actions. Continuing to defend and uplift them only ensures they keep treating dark-skinned black women as less than. Breaking free doesn't necessarily mean you have to hate black men, because I know that a lot of y'all are in love with these men. You guys are completely obsessed with them, and it is very weird. But it does mean no longer prioritizing men who have made it clear that they don't prioritize you. It means recognizing that your options are wide, that love is not scarce, and that you do not have to settle for men who mock you in order to have companionship. To my dark-skinned black women who are watching this, I hope that you hear me clearly. You're not obligated to forgive men who keep degrading you. You're not required to stay loyal to people who refuse to see your beauty and your worth. And you're not in competition with light-skinned black women or biracial women, because your beauty, your femininity, and your presence stand on their own. The cycle of forgiveness and excuses ends when you decide it does. And when you do, you'll find peace, love, and respect. To all the black men watching this, I hope you like this video. And until my next one, I love you so, 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 so much. Bye.